I found an article the other day. The article stated in summary that human beings or our ancestors didn't evolve to exercise, and that if we feel more inclined to sit and watch Netflix and binge documentaries and TV shows as opposed to exercising, then that's okay. Take some solace in that, because we're not programmed to do it. And although I saw some aspects of the article that made sense, it really ignored a fundamental proponent of what evolved us to this state that we're in now. Sure, if you would have taken our ancestors, whether that be hunter-gatherer or whether that was after the agricultural revolution, they wouldn't have necessarily found the need to exercise in a structured or routine manner. Then there would have been a fitness-orientated demand and prerequisite to that type of existence. So sure, our hunter-gatherer ancestors would have spent a large portion of their time trying to procure, trying to find, trying to hunt, trying to create resources. And once those resources, if that hunt was successful, the time then would have been spent honouring the animal and its sacrifice and enjoying the fruits of that pursuit, all the way to the agricultural revolution, where our ancestors, after a good harvest, would have enjoyed the reaping of what they have sown. In biology, fitness is equated to an organism's ability to adapt to its environment. If you look at us nowadays, we don't have that baseline level of environment to adapt to. For example, to hold a spear up for our ancestor and throw it is a bit different from getting our thumb and finger and sliding through applications on our phone, or going to the supermarket to find loads of different fruit and vegetables and meats that are in season and have been hunted on our behalf. So to use this excuse, an ancestor-based excuse that we're not programmed to exercise, ignores the fact that fitness was a requirement of survival. It's the fact that our ancestors didn't need to exercise because that life was as taxing, as scary, as exhausting as it could be. They didn't need to go and pump iron in a gym, or run on a treadmill, or go for long walks, for that was built into the program of acquiring the resources that today we take for granted. I know that we know the modern concept of fitness is bullshit. I swear the industry gets excitement out of just making people look silly. Do you remember that shake weight where you held it and you just shake your arms, it does your forearms? And do you remember the ab crunch machine where you put your neck in and it's this whole like apparatus where you crunch, and people would do it and then they'll go, oh, my neck hurts. Is it meant to work your neck? I'm just trying to get a six-pack. You've even got black magic forms of clothing design for women with that fucking weird seam that's sewn down the middle of their booty that basically just plies open their arse cheeks. I didn't know about that. Did you? There's as much CGI in fitness as there is in Hollywood. The modern concept of fitness nowadays is just more visual than it ever is applicable to the everyday person. And I say it with a heavy heart. Having been involved in the industry for well over a decade, it pains me to see the laughingstock that it's become. I found fitness as a young man, and it became a great outlet for energies, for refining my character, and for affording me a sense of confidence and assertion that I was lacking at the time. And sure, this is not uncommon for many people that find exercise. You could take a very morbid approach when we talk about fitness, and I've heard this before in conversation. What's the point in exercising? A healthy body breaks down and dies too. And even though longevity has a big aspect around fitness and well-being, we can't ignore the fact that it also affords us a better quality of life. Even though we're in this transit experience in a human body, isn't it better to be in a human body that is able to have more experiences? You'll be able to run around with your children more. You yourself may be able to run and climb like you did as a child. You can make more rigorous love to your partner, wife, husband. So much is afforded to us when we have a baseline level of fitness. As standards for our life drop, the requirements of our physicality are rendered almost obsolete. It's a tough sell to sell hard work. But outside of the body composition changes, outside of looking good in a dress, outside of attracting a mate or multiple partners, there's something that happens when we commit to a path of fitness, develops the ability to sharpen their will. And that's all exercise is that action is part of your day. And most of the time, reaction is a part of our day. You'll hear me say on this channel at nauseam, and I've said it in a video titled Movement in a Sedentary World, that movement is a sign of life. For the no movement and succession of movement is in theory death. So rather than getting caught up on what is the best and where the supremacy comes in terms of exercise ideals or or modalities. The real question is what am I able to commit to, and why would I want to do that? So many people will say, oh, I don't want to join the gym, it will make me anxious to join the gym. Well, do you have to join a gym? If you are looking for well-being and functional application of fitness in your day-to-day life, then go walking, buy a dog, dance in the front room like fucking Kevin Bacon. It doesn't matter. Movement is life. And I think that's what stops so many people as a barrier to exercise is motivation. Motivation is just a catalyst. It's really the will that gets developed that somehow then finds enjoyment in these mild exchanges of suffering. And the FITT model is a way of periodizing and programming your goal in exercise. The F stands for frequency. How many times a week are you going to commit to move? I is intensity. Where on the scale are you going to be exerting yourself? If you're not able to exert yourself on a 9 or 10, then that's fine. Intensity in the middle is fine. Intensity on the low end is fine. The T stands for time. How much commitment can you make to this? And the final T is type. What is the desired outcome of this new ritual or routine you are creating? Then you don't need to scroll through 50 different workouts. If you learn the foundations, a push, a pull, a hinge, a rotation, there's these patterns everywhere. Recognize the patterns, and in essence you can become your own trainer.
Training! Euro! Training! That's one.
It can seem very overwhelming and disenchanting to those looking to improve their fitness, or those who feel stagnant already on the pursuit. But remember that it is not a destination but a journey. Anything worth doing takes time. It took time to adopt sedentary behaviour from the bundles of energy we had as children, so rather than looking for quick solutions, look to apply some form of movement as a tenant and staple of our existence, for resistance and friction is needed in the process of any growth.